Hello and welcome to the Bourbon Bear. And for starters, apologize about the voice. I lost it at Potawatomi Bingo and Casino up in Milwaukee, but they stuck by their guns and Pato always pays. That's a big win. But on tonight's episode, we have 8 options that I believe that are realistic, that the Bears could be kind of floating around their mind for the number 9 overall pick. Some of these do include trades, but they kind of rank in order of feasibility to what really should happen or what I want to happen. So they're kind of all over the place, but let me know in the comments what you guys think you prefer of these 8 options. So starting at number 8, the Bears take Tyree Wilson or Jalen Carter at number 9. The reason I have this ranked so low is, let's be real guys, odds aren't going to happen. The recent mock drafts have both of them going in the top 5, so I'm a little concerned, but again, it's the NFL draft, you never know. Why I like Tyree Wilson, though, again, physical marvel. The guy off the edge just has those arms that could literally bring down any quarterback. And then Jalen Carter fills that giant hole we have at the 9 tech. And as Eberflus said, since he got to Chicago, his defense is all based on that 3 tech. And if Jalen Carter is available at 9, I think it makes the most sense just to start solidifying that D-line. Because I know a lot of people will say, hey, you have to protect Justin Fields. And again, I know that's a priority. But you can still get some good right tackles later in the draft. I know our picks aren't until around the 50s, but think about it in terms of holistic blue chip players that you get at the number 9 spot, and I think Jalen Carter fills that void. Number 7 on the list, Bears take Jackson Smith-Njigba at number 9. The reason I had this so low is it is very feasible, so it gets points for that, but I don't like it. You just traded the 32nd pick of this draft for Chase Claypool. And I know he's on a contract year, and when he's in a contract year, have to start thinking receivers. But when it comes down to core positions of what you need, I don't think wide receiver ranks up there anymore. You need to build in the trenches right now, and especially in this draft, there are some great bodies you can get a tackle. And again, if for some reason Jalen Carter falls to number 9, I think that's a no-brainer. But again, the likelihood of it happening is just little to none. Number 6, the Bears go cornerback at the number 9 pick in the draft. This could either be Witherspoon or Gonzalez. I think both of them are going to be very, very good NFL cornerbacks. Obviously, Edge to Witherspoon being a U of I guy. But the reason I rank it this low is I do think corner is a big need. And this draft obviously has some very good corners that could go in the first round. But ultimately, again, this goes back to the trenches argument. I really don't think you can't use the 9. We'll get back into trade downs later, but the 9 pick on anything but the trenches. Just because, number 1, if Fields is your guy, you have to protect him. Number 2, this defensive line is right now very questionable. They got some guys free agency, but ultimately, is that going to be the answer? And I don't think it is, but you never know. So I'm going to put that at number 6 just because it is very possible to happen. Would I like it, though? Not very much. But to Devin Witherspoon's kind of physicality and just his ability to cover, I think that's a no-brainer. That really shores up your secondary, and that's just a great thing this team's got going for it if you do make that pick. Number 5, the Bears trade Pittsburgh for the 17 and 49 and draft Broderick Jones at 17. So this is a weird one. I do like the fact that you're trading down and you're getting, obviously, a defensive end from Georgia, go Dogs, but the only reason I have it this low is because you're giving up that 9 for what I think you could get the 32nd for. So I put this on here just because it is pretty possible that Pittsburgh will make this trade to draft someone like Paris Johnson Jr., but ultimately we're not sure how that's all going to pan out. All these kind of trades make the draft so much fun to watch, especially in the first round, because you never know what's going to happen. Quarterbacks could fly, quarterbacks could fall, and then that trade value could go up or it could go down. You never know, but Pittsburgh's made it pretty clear they've been in contact with Chicago regarding trading that number 9 pick for 17. But I rank it this low mainly because I think there is an outside chance you could get a little bit more value. That might not be the 32nd, but it might be the 3rd rounder. It might be a future 2nd rounder, but time will tell. And then number 4, the Bears draft Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. And again, I love this pick. I think it makes sense because, number 1, Braxton Jones had a great season last year, but you never know if he can repeat it. He gets injured. Never know what's going to happen. Could he even play right tackle? Who knows? But getting Paris Johnson Jr. at this pick is just a great, safe bet, mainly because you're getting an elite offensive tackle that I think will transition pretty well to the NFL. I only rank it this low on the list mainly because there's been talks that the Cardinals are going to take him at 3 or trade back with Indy and take him at 4. Don't know how valid that is. Everything is smoke and mirrors and rumors at this point of the draft. And again, we'll find out tomorrow. All these crazy trades that are going to happen, where the quarterbacks go. Is Levis going to be a top 4 pick? We don't know. So I have it a little lower on my list, but I would be very, very happy with it. Number 3, the Bears draft Darnell Washington out of Tennessee at number 9. This is a weird take, but all of the news coming out of ESPN 1000, all the mock drafts, have him going within the top 13 now. So there's a good chance he won't be there if you trade back, and he is the perfect fit at your right tackle spot. So the tape's always out there of the fact that, he was able to shut down Will Anderson pretty efficiently when Tennessee and Alabama played this year. And I do think it's overdrafting for a right tackle, but you have to look at the whole scope of the offensive line. The fact is we need a right tackle. Alex Leatherwood, who we picked up off of the waiver wire last year, didn't really show us anything, and I just don't think we have a viable option. So if you take the best at the position in that spot, I can't be mad at it, and no one knows about the draft, but I would give it 95% he's going to be there at 9. And my fear is when trading down that he won't be there, because I think other teams do recognize his talent as a blue-chip right tackle. And then number 2, we have the Bears drafting Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern at number 9. I don't love this, but I get it for the future. There's been a lot of questions about Tevin Jenkins, and is he the guy? Did the Bears trust him? They didn't draft him in this, regime. But it is a safe play because he can play that guard or tackle. If you draft him here and he can play tackle, fantastic. That's going to fill your right tackle need. Great run blocker. And if he's not a right tackle, he's going to be a very good guard. And ultimately, when it looks at the team structure, that could be something we could technically replace Jenkins with, or if one of our guards go down, he's a plug-and-play guy. Again, you're taking this bet on the fact that he can play tackle, but it's a safe option in the sense that, hey, if he can play guard, we need guards. Totally fine. And then the number 1 trade option I have for the Bears that is not only feasible but would be perfect for our situation is the fact that Bears trade Pitt for 17 and 32 for the 9, and draft Darnell Washington at 17. So as I mentioned before, all the mock drafts have him going higher now. Before the past week or so, he's been climbing boards. But initially, he was ranked pretty low, maybe low-tier first round, high-end second round. Obviously impressed a lot of people when they had their 30 for 30 visits, so it is what it is. But if you make this trade, you have your right tackle spot solved. And you're getting the 32nd, which is going to most likely be either the best available corner or the best available 3-tech. Both of those are needs that we have to fill. So if you make this trade and it works out in the way we think it will, this is the best thing the Bears, in my mind, could do in the draft that is actually somewhat realistic. We could throw out there that, Will Anderson's available at 9. It's not going to happen. But in this case, you're filling 2 holes, essentially, because of the talent they have at the D-line spot once you get into that second round. And number 2, obviously with the Miami losing their draft pick for tampering with Tom Brady, there's a good chance that, essentially it is a first-round pick, and it's what we gave Pittsburgh for Claypool, but this would be lights out, Poles GM of the Year right here, getting that pick back, having Claypool still, and getting the guy you wanted probably at number 9 anyway. And there you'll have it. Just a quick episode. Again, the draft is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. We're storming the dunes, Finley Dunes, at 7 o'clock tomorrow if you want to join the boys. But outside of that, bear down and best of luck for us tomorrow. Bears.